I don't know why, but we gonna win anyway. I came straight out the with a microphone. Boy, I swear I couldn't leave that mic alone. Everybody clear the room, I like to write alone. I'm in my zone, bass bouncing off the styrofoam. I'm never in between.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw is Stafford. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Almost out-kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. On first down, it's Smith. And his first look is incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Smith on 2nd down. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. That's good for a Redskin first down. Richardson on the reception from Smith. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his first carry, he loses the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And some space here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down is Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
15. Hey, back up. Hey, back up.
Out of the gun, Smith. His pass caught at the 4. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run with Hunt. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Hakeem Hunt taking it in. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Tate to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he locates Luke Wilson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get... a good head of steam going.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. run it here with Blount. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Hey, tag 32! Tag 32! Hey, go here! Hey, 51 is down! 51 is down!
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30, the 20. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
35!
After the interception, here's Smith. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Christian Jones. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Phillips in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up.
From the gun, here's Smith. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So here come the Lions now. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at point.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Preston Smith leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Stafford. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. He got 29 yards that time.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Hey, tag 32! Tag 32!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice. To give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Thompson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Hey, back up.
From the gun, Smith completes it right side to Doxson. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first. Rip. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
Back up. Switch. You guys go 52.
Smith on first down. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Lions have recovered.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, and as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers. That's really job one for any defense because that's how you win in today's NFL.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That good for 19 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Operating from the gun, Stafford, and he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now it's Stafford, and he dumps it off to Blunt. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. Definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Troy Apke. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
On first down, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Skirts by at the 15. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Smith now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now Smith from the gun, he'll throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Smith now, operating from the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone. Zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14. On the return. And the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Gun!
On play action, they'll throw. Going back to Macklin. This time he's got him. Complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back down in that belly. Here we go.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Gun!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Anderson coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. Back to throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Prater's not going to get this one. Missed it. No good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hole.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
He'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a 1st down. Continuing to steadily move the ball down the field. Not big play after big play, but these moderate gains getting him 1st downs.
And you know what they add up to, right? If you continue that pace and you continue to move it downfield, they add up into 6 points. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Looking deep here from... That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Jeremy Maclin, 60 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know the other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Looking to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lynch. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as...
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Taken from just outside the 30. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll get this out to Lynch, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. You give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Got three down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eli Harold in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. They begin the drive with Johnson. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Alert 3. Coming, double up. Coming, double up.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Barney. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll go down at the 28. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.